Hey guys, what's going on? Gassy Mexican here, and this is Message Monday. Well, it's actually Message Tuesday because it's Tuesday right now. I was gonna do Message Monday yesterday, and I was gonna do this special edition of Message Monday too with the camera. As you guys can tell, I whipped out my camera. I wanted to do something different, something special. I've done a lot of regular Message Mondays for a while, and it's been only one other time that I think I've ever done like a face cam Message Monday thing. So here we are now. It's Tuesday, so we're just gonna call this Message Monday Tuesday edition. I've done this before, so sorry, but here's the video now. And last time I read them off my phone, but this time I actually printed them out onto a sheet of paper. If you guys are asking what are you referring to? Questions, of course. Twitter questions, look at, boom! Those are who's in this Message Monday for this week. Can't talk. So yeah, here we go, and side note as well, some of you guys might have noticed it in either me tweeting out pictures or mentioning it in some other form. I don't remember if I've really ever mentioned it before publicly to you guys. I bought a MIDI keyboard, or like a piano, a digital kind of piano controller for my computer, and I have it off camera below here. So that's what I'm gonna do to transition to other questions. I'm just gonna play a little tune. I don't really know how to play the piano, I just kind of dabble with it, but I haven't used it for any videos, so I decided this was a good idea, and so here we go. First message is from Twitter, and it is from LuigiMan311, and they say, "Are you enjoying?" They spelled it really weird. Far Cry 3. They meant to say, "Are you enjoying Far Cry 3 so far? Would you recommend it?" Hashtag MM, hashtag Message Monday. Yes, I am. Far Cry 3 is a really, really cool game. I have not played so much of the single player. I've played a little bit, enough of it to get the scope of it and understand that it's really, really well made. I'm gonna make the comparison that everybody's kind of made at this point, including game reviewers and stuff, is that it's Skyrim with guns, and that's pretty goddamn accurate. It's really, really huge. The world is very, very well done. The graphics look really, really good, and the water looks really good in that game. So single player, I can't judge it past that. Those are first impressions. But other than that, it's really good. I've played a little bit of the multiplayer, and the main thing that I've played is the Far Cry 3 co-op with other people that you know, with Utoric and Diction and Chilled. We played it online, and some of you guys may have seen that up on the channel. But that's what I've played primarily. I plan on going through and I'm not gonna do a full playthrough of it like on my channel. What I will do though, I think it's gonna be a streaming game for me. Kind of similar how it is with Skyrim, with me and my playthrough of Skyrim, except it's not gonna be going up on the channel. Well, stream highlights might go up on the channel and stuff like that. But I'm gonna be streaming it, so I might even stream it later on tonight, I don't know. But it seems like a really, really good game for streaming and stuff like that, seeing as it is kind of like a Skyrim with guns and whatnot. So it's really, really big, it's open world, and there's a lot you can do and explore and kind of make your own fun and stuff. So that's probably what I'll do, and I'll just post like little highlights and stuff on my channel. But good game so far. I definitely am looking forward to playing more of the single player and get more steeped into that storyline. So thank you for your question, LuigiMan311, and let's move on to the next one. Next question is from Fab Young Sinatra, and they say, hashtag Message Monday, do you get those days when you have no motivation to make videos? It's a good question, and I don't think I've ever been asked that before, so good on you for asking that question. And yes, of course I have days where I don't have motivation to make videos. It happens to every YouTuber, all of them. There's just some days where you get up and you don't feel like doing anything. I mean, we're people on the internet. All of you guys watching right now can empathize with that feeling, and it's no different for YouTubers. In fact, if anything, it's even more so for YouTubers, because some days you have a lot of stuff that you need to get done, you know, that you plan to get done, and you just don't feel like doing it. You kind of like bring it up in your head. It's like this mountain you have to tackle for the day. And for those of you guys out there that think, well, you just play video games, there's not much work involved in that. False. There's a pretty decent amount of work involved. Granted, I enjoy my work and it doesn't really feel like work when I'm doing it, but there are certain days that you just get up and you don't feel like doing anything. How do you get past that? I would say that's where you guys come in, honestly. When I see people tweeting at me and saying that they like my videos and they want to see more and they can't wait for this other video or whatever of a certain series that I'm doing or whatever, that is very, very motivating. It's so much so the fans that motivate us YouTubers. At least me personally. I know it's the same for a lot of other commentator and YouTuber friends of mine. It's the same. It's the fans that motivate us to keep making videos when we don't feel like making videos. But yeah, of course there are days where I don't feel like making videos. But most of the time, I do something else. I kind of clear my mind. I get my mind off YouTube and what I have to do for the day. And then it usually helps. And also, but a lot of times that's looking at Twitter. I look at my Twitter feed. And there's been several times where I look at my Twitter feed and I see people saying positive stuff and I'm like, you know what? All right, let's make some videos. They want videos, let's do it. So yeah, there are those days, but most of the time, if you have a right technique or, you know, if you got fans that support you, you can get through it. So thank you for your question, Fab Young Sinatra, and let's move on to the next one. Next question is from the Xbox Live, and it is from UTaker Steve. And I'm gonna go ahead and press the space bar so I can listen to it and cut that question in. So let's listen to what he says, and I will respond.
Hey Gassy, I just wanted to say I love your videos, and I was just wondering, how do you feel about your younger subscriber base, like teenagers? Thanks.
That is a good question, UTaker Steve. How do I feel about my younger subscriber base and teenagers and stuff? To be honest, most of the people that are subscribed to myself and a lot of other game commentators are teenagers, and we know this. My opinion on it is I don't care. It doesn't matter really what age you are. As long as you're cool, you're cool. Now I will say that younger people tend to, you know, it's a stereotype, I know, but if you're younger and you're annoying and immature and stuff like that, and you show it, and that's not good. Then I have a problem with you. It really doesn't matter what your age is with me, as long as you're cool. I have no problem with you, and I think you're awesome. I love all my subscribers. It doesn't matter if you are 82 or if you are 12. It does not matter. If you are a cool person, I will love you all the same. So that's where I stand on younger subscribers and stuff like that. You're like any other subscriber, to be honest. And I realize that a large majority of our subscriber base is younger people, because those are the people that have the time and interest in video games primarily. So, like I said, if you're cool, you're cool. So yeah, if you're a teenager and you've been thinking that I don't like you, not true, not true. I will say you are in an opportunity to get rid of that stereotype of younger people being less mature, and you can set a better example for other people in your age group. But yeah, thank you for your question, UTaker Steve, and let's move on to the next question. Are you guys finding these transitions fun? I think they're fun. They might be kind of creepy. I don't know, I've been kind of staring at the camera weirdly after I play the notes. But anyways, next question is from Twitter again, and it is from God of Shadows AE, and they say, #MM, will you ever go do more Mario Kart with Renee? Yes. Next question. Next question is from, again, Xbox Live, and I cannot remember who it was, so I'm gonna look over here real quick and cheat. It is from Aled Williams, maybe Alex Williams. I don't know if they typed it wrong, but if not, then it's Aled Williams with a D. So let's listen to what they have to say.
With the way copyright issues are going right now, do you think YouTube will be a viable career option in the next 10 or 20 years? And also bears.
That is a very good question, Alex. That is actually a really, really good question. Unfortunately, the answer is one that a lot of people are probably not going to like, specifically for ones that are trying to get into doing commentating and stuff like that. It's not impossible to get into commentating and stuff now. It's definitely a lot harder than what it is now. And let me get to why I'm bringing this up. I do believe it's a viable career in the future. I'm definitely going to do this as long as I can, as long as people are still watching, and as long, you know, as it's workable. I contemplated before I even switched to doing YouTube full-time where YouTube is going, and this very thing with copyright stuff going on, and just in general, is YouTube a potentially viable career in the future? And I think it is, because YouTube has only been growing larger and larger and larger. People are moving from places like MTV or whatever to watch music videos and stuff like that. Similarly, they're watching, you know, instead of watching like a TV show, they'll watch stuff on YouTube. Gaming is really, really big, and it's only getting bigger. People are getting more interested in gaming as a whole, as a population, globally. People are becoming more and more interested in gaming. With that said, people that are partnered on YouTube, such as myself being partnered through Machinima, are protected through different deals and stuff that Machinima has or other YouTube partnering networks have with game developers and stuff like that. So things like copyright and infringement and stuff like that are not so much of a problem for those people, such as myself, that are protected behind these deals and agreements that are between Machinima and other networks and stuff, and the game developers. That's where I mean it's very hard for people who are trying to get into commentary and stuff like that. It becomes very hard for them to get their name out there. Not only that, and also get content out there, because if you're a new game commentator, you're obviously trying to put up videos on your channel from different games and stuff. And some developers are cool about it, but others are not. So if you're trying to put up a game and you're not partnered with a network or something like that, and you're not protected by these agreements that these networks have with game developers, then you're on your own. If a developer decides to dispute your content and say, hey, that's our content, you can't put that up on your channel, then you're kind of shit out of luck, to be honest, and it sucks, because it means that much harder for people to try to get into game commentary and get their name out there by having content on their channel. Like I said, not all developers are like this, and this is where also the flip side of the coin comes into play, where game developers are now kind of starting to change their thinking and realize that game commentators and YouTube is a very, very viable medium to advertise their product, their games, and a lot of people are interested in watching these videos of people playing games and stuff like that. So that's the flip side of the coin. So hopefully that'll change more in the future, where developers are a little more lenient and loose on people putting up content of their games on YouTube and stuff like that on their personal channel. But for right now, for people that are protected and partnered through networks and stuff that do have agreements with developers, then you're good. Then you don't have to worry about copyright strikes, and then you can keep putting stuff up on your channel for more and more games that developers release. So that's where the longevity aspect of YouTube being a viable career option in the future comes into play. So thank you for your question, and let's move on to the final question, which will be from Twitter. So here's a special playoff transition thing. Last question for this week's special edition of Message Monday Tuesday edition is from Choco Creeper from Twitter, and they say, "Hi Gassy Mexican, what is the most epic rage quit you've ever experienced? Hashtag Message Monday, hashtag MM." What is the most epic rage quit I've ever had? In general, ever? I'm gonna go ahead and say when I've been recording, or recently, because there's been a lot of rage quits. I don't usually rage that much. I'm usually a pretty calm gamer. I used to rage a lot more when I was younger and played like Halo 2 multiplayer and stuff. Not that that game was bad and it made me rage because I was bad. It made me rage when I lost. I was very competitive in Halo 2, so probably some of those rages were some of the most epic rages I've ever experienced. But there was a switch where, kind of when I got into more YouTube and stuff like that, where I don't want to say casually started playing games because I'm still competitive and stuff, but I realized that I have more fun with games when I care less about winning all the time. I still want to win and I'm still competitive, but I care less, if that makes sense. So, but recently, what game has made me rage the most and have an epic rage? Probably Trials HD. That's the reason why I stopped playing Trials HD on my channel, is because I got to a point where the difficulty of the maps were getting so hard and so frustrating that I just couldn't play it anymore. And I think I ended it like right before I had like a really bad rage quit. I almost threw my controller, I didn't. I was just really, really fed up with the game and just pissed off. And I realized I'm like, this is not gonna be entertaining. It might be entertaining to some, but at that point I'd already been bitching a lot about, the difficulty of the level. So I decided to just end it there, and that's why I stopped playing Trials HD. As you guys saw, I'm playing Trials Evolution multiplayer with Diction and Chilled and Utoric and stuff, and I want to play more of that, but we'll see in the future if we can get some more of that done. But the most epic rage quit that I've had recently is probably Trials HD. Other than that, probably sometime back in my Halo 2 days is when I had some pretty epic rages. And if I had a time machine to look back at that particular moment, well, if I had a time machine, that wouldn't be the first thing I would do, obviously. But if I had a time machine and I could go back and look at that, it would probably be really funny, because it's like younger, tiny little, younger teenager Max who's like all pissed off and throwing his controller and stuff because he lost the game in Halo 2. But thank you for your questions, everybody. Thank you, Chalk. I have this upside down. Thank you, Choco Creeper, for your question, as well as everybody else that sent in a question for this week's Message Monday or Message Tuesday. Hope you guys enjoyed it. More piano. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and say my spiel. If you guys want to send a message to Message Monday and have it potentially be on the show, there are several ways you can do this. Actually, there are 2 ways you can do this, which I guess still fits the description of several ways you can do this. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say it and stop making this motion with the paper. But yeah, there are 2 ways you can do it. You can tweet me using hashtag MessageMonday or hashtag MM, as you've seen on the screen. But you have to wait for Monday to come around. Every Monday, or Tuesday in this case, although I got my questions before. So basically, follow me on Twitter. That's the best way to know when I'm asking for questions. It's usually gonna be a Monday afternoon that I ask for questions. Once you see me tweet out, sometime midday on a Monday, I'll tweet out saying, hey, send me questions, tweet me questions using the tags hashtag MessageMonday and hashtag MM, and then I'll go through right away in that session or in that sitting when I ask for questions and pick them out. The other way is where I get these voice questions from, and that is from Xbox Live. Sometimes it's kind of cool to listen to a voice message, and I find them a little more interactive and fun, and just kind of cool to mix things up a bit from just the regular text messages from Twitter. But if you send me a message on Xbox Live, my gamer tag is Gassy Mexican. Send me a message on there the same way you do on Twitter, is just add your voice to it and still tag it Message Monday or MM. You don't have to put hashtag because it's not Twitter. Obviously, that would make no sense. But those are the 2 ways that you send me a message for Message Monday. And if your question gets answered, awesome. If it doesn't, don't get discouraged. Try it again. Maybe I just didn't see it, because a lot of people send me messages for these Message Mondays, and I can't pick everybody's. But if it doesn't get picked for a long while, maybe try switching up the question. It might just be something that I don't want to answer, or I just don't think is that great of a question. So no offense there, but there's a lot of questions to go through. So thank you guys that watched this episode of Message Monday. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will resume back to a regular format for Message Monday, but let me know if you guys like this sort of deal where I do a face cam and kind of mix it up every now and then. Let me know if you like that and if you want me to do that, because I will happily do so. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you later. I'm gonna go ahead and play you off.